What if I told you there's a way to give your toddler's brain a powerful head start in language development? And what if it only took about 30 seconds a day? It sounds a little too good to be true, right? As parents, we're constantly wondering if our toddlers are hitting their milestones. We listen so carefully for those first babbles to become words, and for those words to turn into sentences. That anxiety is real. You see another toddler chatting up a storm and can't help but think, are we doing enough? Am I missing some secret trick? That feeling of uncertainty is one of the toughest parts of this gig. You've probably read the books, maybe you tried the flashcards, and you've definitely narrated your day like a sportscaster. But what if the key wasn't just about more talking, but about how you get their brain ready to absorb language in the first place? Neuroscientists have found that simple, rhythmic activities can act as a powerful catalyst for speech. This isn't just another parenting tip. This is a targeted brain-building technique grounded in the science of how kids learn. It's a game changer that can help build a stronger foundation for your child's speech. In this video, I'm going to break down the science into simple steps and show you exactly how this 30-second daily habit works, why it's so effective, and how you can use it to build your child's communication skills with confidence. So, if you're ready to stop worrying and start wiring, stick around. Trick 1. Rhythmic priming, the 30-second brain accelerator. First, let's talk about your toddler's brain. For the first few years, it's in a state of superpowered growth. Scientists call this peak neuroplasticity, where the brain is incredibly flexible and ready to be shaped by experience. Think of it like a dense forest where new trails, or neural pathways, are being cut every single second. The experiences you create for your child decide which of these trails become busy highways, and which ones just fade away. Now, when it comes to language, we used to think kids just needed to be surrounded by words. But it turns out, it's not just about the amount of talking, but the quality. It's about creating micro-interventions, tiny but potent moments that get those crucial language pathways firing and wiring. This brings us to the 30-second trick, rhythmic priming. Research shows that rhythmic activities have a remarkable effect on a child's brain. A steady, predictable tempo helps prime the auditory system, making it more receptive to processing grammar and language patterns. When you engage your toddler in a rhythm game, you're basically giving their brain what scientists call temporal scaffolding. You're creating a predictable pattern that helps their brain anticipate the timing of words and sounds. This is absolutely foundational for learning to speak in sentences. So, what does this actually look like? It's almost comically simple. Here is the 30-second brain trick. For 30 seconds, before you do something language-based, like reading a book, you're going to prime your toddler's brain with rhythm. Here's how. Sit with your toddler face to face. Start a simple, steady clap. You can find a metronome online to get the feel for it, but don't overthink it. A peppy, upbeat clap is perfect. As you clap, chant a simple nursery rhyme, really emphasizing the beat. Think, twinkle, twinkle, little star. That emphasis is key. This rhythmic stress helps a baby's brain figure out where one word ends and another begins in a long stream of speech. You could also do a rhyming word chain. Clap a steady beat and say, cat, bat, hat, sat. Do this for just 30 seconds. That's it. In that short time, you've done something profound. You've woken up the auditory processing centers of their brain. You've activated their mirror neurons, which are crucial for imitating speech. And you've provided that temporal scaffolding, essentially warming up their brain to recognize and process the language you're about to share. General research confirms that rhythm helps children better process and repeat sentences, a task that's incredibly complex for a developing brain. With this simple habit, you're no longer just throwing words at your child and hoping they stick. You're preparing the very soil in which those words can grow. Trick 2. The serve and return masterclass. That 30-second rhythmic trick is your secret weapon for priming the brain. But what happens next is just as important. The primed brain needs high-quality interaction to build on that foundation. This is where the concept of serve and return comes in, and it's one of the most powerful tools you have. Imagine a game of tennis. One player serves the ball, and the other has to return it to keep the rally going. The back-and-forth interactions you have with your toddler work exactly the same way. These little exchanges are the very bedrock of their brain's architecture, building and strengthening connections with every turn. A serve is any time your toddler initiates an interaction. It could be a look, a point, a sound, or them handing you a toy. They are serving the ball to you. Your job is to return that serve. This isn't just about noticing them. It's about a specific kind of responsive interaction that validates their attempt to communicate and builds their brain. A crucial detail that many parents miss is the timing. To be most effective, the return needs to be prompt. This isn't to add pressure, but to match the speed at which a toddler's brain works. A quick return keeps their attention and builds on the moment. If the response comes too late, they may have already moved on, and the opportunity to build that neural connection can be lost. So, let's break this down into a simple, 5-step guide for the perfect serve and return, something you can weave into every part of your day. Step 1. Notice the serve. This is the most important part. It means being present. Put your phone away and just watch for their signals. Did they just point at the cat? That's a serve. Did they make eye contact and babble? Serve. Did they look at a toy and then look at you? Definitely a serve. Step 2. Return with encouragement. This is your immediate, warm response. It can be a smile, a nod, or direct eye contact. This tells your child, I see you. I hear you. You are important. This simple act makes them feel safe and seen, which is the perfect state for learning. Step 3. Name the focus. Now you bring in the words. Whatever your child served, the thing they pointed to, the sound they made, give it a name. If they pointed at the cat, you say, yes, that's the cat, a soft gray cat. If they babbled while looking at their cup, you can say, you want more water, thirsty for water. You are connecting their communication to a concrete word in a context that matters to them. Step 4. Wait and take turns. This is so important. After you return the serve, pause. Give them a moment. This silence gives them time to process what you said and to serve again. You're teaching the fundamental rhythm of conversation. I go, then you go. They might respond with another sound, a smile, or by pointing again. Whatever it is, it's their turn. Step 5. Recognize the endings. Pay attention to their cues. When they look away or move on to a new toy, the game is over for now. Let it end. Forcing it when they're no longer engaged is counterproductive. By respecting their cue to end, you're teaching them about natural social flow and empowering them to lead the next time. This serve and return cycle isn't a special activity you need to schedule. It happens during diaper changes, meal times, and playtime. When your toddler holds up a block, serve, you can say, wow, a red block. Return and name. Then wait for them to respond. Wait. It's a continuous, flowing dance that can happen hundreds of times a day. Mid-script CTA. If you're finding these brain-building tips helpful and you're starting to see how small shifts can make a huge difference, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. I share science-backed, practical strategies just like this every week to help you feel more confident on your parenting journey. It's the best way to make sure you don't miss our next video. Trick 3. High-density book sharing. We've primed the brain with rhythm, and we've established the back and forth of conversation with serve and return. Now, let's apply these ideas to one of the most powerful language-building activities you can do, reading a book. But I'm not talking about just reading a story from start to finish while your toddler quietly listens, or, more likely, tries to eat the page. I'm talking about turning story time into an active, brain-building session through a technique called Dialogic book sharing. The goal is to shift your child from being a passive listener to an active participant. Research shows this interactive style is far more effective at boosting language skills than simply reading aloud. Here's how to turn any picture book into a dialogic reading powerhouse. First, forget about finishing the book. The goal isn't to get to the end. The goal is interaction. If you only get through 2 pages in 10 minutes because your toddler is totally captivated, that's a huge win. Follow their lead. If they are pointing at the little worm in the corner of the page instead of the main character, go with it. That's their serve. Return it by talking about the worm. Oh, you see that wiggly worm? Look at him digging in the dirt. Second, become a vocal performer. Your voice is your best tool. Use lively, exaggerated tones. When the giant speaks, use a deep, booming voice. When the mouse squeaks, use a high, tiny one. Make the sound effects. If you see a car, add a vroom vroom. If you see a duck, quack quack. This isn't just for fun. Studies on parent ease, or that emotionally expressive baby talk, show that varied pitch captures attention and helps their brains distinguish between different sounds, a critical pre-reading skill. Third, master the art of the pause and the question. This is where you invite them into the story. Don't just read the words, use the peer sequence. Prompt, evaluate, expand, repeat. Prompt, point to a picture and ask, "What's that?" Evaluate. When they respond, even with just a sound, give them positive feedback. "That's right," or a big smile. Expand. This is where the magic happens. Take their answer and build on it. If they say da, you can expand. Yes, it's a big brown dog running so fast. You're modeling a more complex sentence. Repeat. Gently encourage them to try the expanded phrase. Can you say big dog? This helps lock in the new vocabulary. As they get older, you can use more advanced crowd prompts. Completion. Leave a blank in a familiar book. Brown bear, what do you? And let them fill in see. Recall. Ask about something that happened earlier. Where did the little pig go? Open-ended. Ask questions with no single right answer. What do you think is happening here? Distancing. This is a powerful one. Connect the story to their life. This bear is eating berries. Remember when we had berries for breakfast? Were they yummy? This links new words directly to their personal experiences, making them stick. By turning reading from a monologue into a dialogue, you're teaching your child how to think, how to make connections, and how to be a storyteller. You're layering skill upon skill. Attention, memory, and vocabulary, all within the warm, connected context of sharing a book. Trick 4. Weaving language into life. Daily routine boosters. The best language learning doesn't happen in scheduled sessions. It happens in the small moments that make up your day. Your daily routines, getting dressed, snack time, bath time, are gold mines for speech development. This is the core idea behind an approach called Enhanced Milieu Teaching, or EMT. Milieu is just a fancy word for your environment. This is all about enhancing your child's everyday world to encourage communication. EMT is built on a simple truth. Kids are most motivated to communicate when they really want something. It's about creating natural opportunities for them to use their words and gestures to make things happen. This isn't about withholding things. It's about creating a gentle, playful pause that prompts them to communicate. Let's break down 3 key EMT strategies you can start using today. Strategy 1. Environmental arrangement. This is about being a little strategic with your child's environment to create a reason for them to talk. It's simple. Place something they want in their sight, but just out of reach. For example, put their favorite crackers in a clear container on the counter. When they inevitably try to get it and can't, they have a natural reason to ask you for help. They might point or grunt. This is their serve. You then get on their level, acknowledge their effort, and model the word. Oh, you want the crackers? Let's open the crackers. Another way is to give them only part of what they need. Give them a bowl, but no spoon. A piece of paper, but no crayons. You're creating a natural problem that they need to solve with communication. Strategy 2. The power of the time delay. This is one of the simplest and most effective strategies. A time delay is just a pause during a fun, repetitive activity where you wait for your child to signal for you to continue. Think about pushing your toddler on a swing. You're pushing, they're laughing, and you're saying, "Ready, set, go." After a few pushes, stop the swing. Hold it back and just wait, looking at them with a playful, expectant smile. They will likely look at you, kick their feet, or make a sound to say, "Hey, more." The moment they do, you give them a big smile and say, "More. Okay, here we go," and give them a big push. You can do this with blowing bubbles, tickle fights, anything. You're teaching them that their voice has a direct and immediate effect on their world. Strategy 3. Expansions. We touched on this with reading, but it's a cornerstone of EMT. An expansion is when you take what your child says and add a word or two. This is how you gently guide their language to the next level without correcting them. If your toddler points and says, "Car," you respond, "Yes, a blue car," or "a fast car." If they hand you their cup and say, "More," you can say, "More milk, please." The key is to keep it simple. You're just adding one small piece of information. You're not saying, "No, that's wrong." You're saying, "Yes, and." By weaving these strategies into your routines, you transform your entire day into a language-rich environment. Trick 5. The 5-minute screen swap. Let's talk about the thing on every parent's mind: screen time. Screens are a reality of modern life, but when it comes to toddler language development, the type and amount of screen time matters a lot. A growing body of research is making one thing clear: excessive passive screen time is linked to developmental delays. A study in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that the more screen time a 1-year-old had, the more likely they were to show communication delays at ages 2 and 4. The reason is simple, and it ties back to everything we've talked about. When a toddler is passively watching a cartoon, they aren't doing serve and return. They aren't practicing conversation. Their brain isn't getting the rich, responsive interaction it needs. So, what's the solution? It's not about demonizing screens or feeling guilty. It's about a simple, powerful strategy: the 5-minute screen swap. The challenge is this: find just 5 minutes of screen time in your toddler's day and swap it for 5 minutes of dedicated, interactive talk time. That's it. Just 5 minutes. This isn't about adding another task to your plate. It's a small exchange that can have huge benefits. Think about what those 5 minutes could be. It could be 5 minutes of rhythmic priming followed by a silly song. It could be 5 minutes on the floor, fully present, just practicing serve and return. It could be 5 minutes of exploring just one page of a picture book together. These short bursts of interaction are powerful because they are focused and intentional. Now, what about when you do use screens? The key is to shift from passive watching to active co-viewing. Sit with your child and talk about what's happening. Look, Bluey is jumping. Jump, jump, jump. Can you jump like Bluey? Ask questions. Where did Bingo go? You're basically doing dialogic reading with the TV, turning a passive experience into an interactive one. The most powerful tool you have will always be you. So, we started with a simple 30-second trick, but it's really a gateway to a whole new way of thinking about your toddler's development. It's about understanding that you are the primary architect of your child's brain. I hope this video left you feeling inspired and empowered. If it did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with another parent who might need to hear this today. And don't forget to subscribe for more science-backed tips to help you and your little one thrive. What's your favorite way to spark a conversation with your toddler? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.